I am Savas Matsas. I'm the General Secretary of the Workers' Revolutionary Party, EEK in Greek, coming from Greece, and we are part of our fraternal party here in Argentina is the Partido Obrero. We are in the middle of all the disasters in one sense, because we are experienced 10 years of social catastrophe with the bailouts, the ajuste that you know very well, and we have enormous unemployment, 60% of the youth no jobs, more than 1/3 of the population under the poverty line. But apart from the social catastrophe, we face the danger of a war catastrophe now, spilling over from the Middle East to the Eastern Mediterranean to Greece and the Balkans. So we face the worst of both worlds. Greece, it is the door of Europe to the Middle East. So all the victims of the imperialist wars of the United States as well as Europe to the Middle East, Asia and Africa leads to the biggest probably in history wave of migration of thousands and thousands of people. They come in Greece. Only in 2015 they came officially 60,000, but in matter of fact more than 1 million passed from Greece up to the moment that the European Union closed what they call the Western Balkan Road. So these people is trapped in Greece, an economically destroyed country, and they are closed in what they call hotspots, what really is concentration camps, both in the islands and in the continent, and expecting months and months, sometimes years, to have maybe the permission to go to Western Europe to meet their families who are already. So we have a lot of kids without any family. It is a humanitarian catastrophe of the Middle East coming together of the humanitarian catastrophe that the Greek people knows. Both the crisis as well, the refugee problem, feeds the resurgence of the fascist movement in Greece, which it has an organization, the main organization is a Nazi, openly Nazi organization called Golden Dawn. And these have stormtroops attacking both refugees, leftists, and other minorities. And also, a few years ago, they, with the help of the Greek so-called democratic state, they organized a trial, a court case against me as secretary of our party, accusing us that we try to foment a civil war in Greece to establish a Judeo-Bolshevik regime. It was an international campaign against them organized by us and other friends all over the world. So we won the case, but still they are very active. 15 days after my trial in 2013, they killed a hip-hop singer, very popular and very left-wing, and now they have small groups of stormtroopers attacking refugees, particularly from Pakistanis, Africans, or from the other Syrians, Afghans, as well as members of the left-wing organizations in Greece. There was an important left-wing turn of the popular masses these years, but the people invested all its hopes, all its expectations to put an end to austerity and to fight jobs, etc., to a left-wing party which called Syriza under Tsipras. They came to power, they were elected in January 2015, but unfortunately they capitulated in every demand of the so-called lenders of the country, which mean the European Central Bank, the European Union Commission, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, to establish, and they introduced to Greece from 2015 until now, even the worst program of austerity against the Greek people. So the Greek people, although did not turn to the right for the moment, okay, to a conservative, looking to a conservative way of solution, nevertheless is disappointed by the official left of Greece. And they try to find an alternative that don't see yet. And my party, together with other forces, we try really to open a left-wing alternative. I think that we live in a very crucial moment of history. The war is on the agenda everywhere. It's not just local events here and there in Syria, in Libya, in Mali, etc. But we see an international war drive coming out of the crisis, and as the system, the capitalist system, does not have political or economic means to go out after 10 years now of an insoluble crisis, we have more and more a tendency toward war. Need an international organization to fight, really, to prevent an Armageddon, a catastrophe for the whole humanity. We see the building up of this war drive in many aspects, and particularly the trade wars now, for example, from US against China, the Russophobia and all this stuff creates conditions to have to go even in expansion of the war. Particularly in my country now, I mean, all the tensions of the Middle East coming now to Europe, to the Balkans, because Eastern Mediterranean oil and gas deposits which were founded, there is a fight between the big oil companies there, plus all the regional and international contradictions which are there. So we have a tension between the Greek and Turkish bourgeois regimes at that time, and there is a real danger that the situation becomes uncontrollable. So for us, the fight for to mobilize internationally the victims of the system in a real battle, to an active politics to prevent the war catastrophe is absolutely important. The First World War or the Second World War put on the agenda the question of an international. We think that now more than ever we need an international organization of the working class all over the world and the oppressed masses to prevent war and to give a social solution, a social way out from this world systemic crisis. In Greece, as in Argentina, there is no separation of the church and the state, which until now creates enormous problems. But immediately after the collapse of our military dictatorship in 1974, there was a radicalization of the people, continued struggles, and also for the ruling classes, the danger that the situation will become revolutionary at some point. So they had to make concessions in that period to prevent further radicalization. So when PASOK, which is a kind of socialist populist party, came to power, now it's very right-wing, neoliberal, but at that time, in 1981, under Andreas Papandreou, they came to power, they took two measures, two popular measures. The one was the legalization of abortion, and the second one to introduce the possibility to have civil marriage. We could not marry only on the church, which created enormous problems. But still now, this is a warning for everybody. But because, particularly as I know that there are struggles in your country and everywhere for the legal abortion, that this is a conquest to be achieved, one, and then to defend. Because immediately, even if they allow a kind of form of legalization of the abortion, as they did in Greece, then again the church, the clerical circles, as well as the right-wing forces inside the state and in the political sphere, they try to intervene to have a regression back. Particularly, one guarantee for that should be the separation of the state and the church. Otherwise, we are always in danger, in Greece included.